Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thinking Out Loud. Today, I'm not on a work day. I'm not actually going to work. It's actually a free day, but I just felt like going out for a drive and have some time with my thoughts. Um, there's really many things in my mind. There are many things in my mind lately, but something that has been really eating me up is it's the idea of how to keep going, or to put this in other words, how do you how do you keep things mattering? Now, what do I mean by this? I mean, imagine you start chasing a goal. All right, you start chasing the goal of I don't know, becoming a football player, or let's say, imagine that it's becoming a lawyer. Let's say you follow the goal, you're chasing the goal of becoming a lawyer. Okay, when you begin chasing this, it's for a reason. There's something that you believe you don't have, and you understand that you're going to have that by chasing X or Y goal. In this case, it could be like, oh, okay, I think there's no justice in the world. The world is very unjust, so I want to become a lawyer so I can make things right. Imagine it's that. You're not happy with how things work, and you want to become someone who can influence that change, and so you choose to be a lawyer. Now, why so, really? I mean, is that the only way of having an effect on things? Um, couldn't a leader, for example, have way more control over things? If you are the owner of the country, um, really goes your way, you know. But you decide to be a lawyer. Why? Why is that? Does the fact that you have to also have a career influence that, you know? And why I'm going over all of this, because I think that it's very important to understand why you feel like you need something in the first place. And then when you find a goal or something that um, is gonna help you solve that need, or like fulfill your destiny, may it be whatever, there's a reason to everything. There's a reason to why you choose the things, why you decide to go after one goal, each step of the way, how you make the choices. And I think that has a lot to do with the idea of keep going. Um, what could be an example of this? Because I'm talking perhaps in very abstract ways. Um, what does keep going mean? Well, it could mean, how do you stay motivated? How do you make it so that chasing that goal, is worth it? Because we're very smart beings. Um, we can, we seem to have the ability um, to justify anything in our heads. For example, not going to the gym, or putting the alarm off in the morning. Yeah, maybe there's like a really great goal and very logical and very like important for us. And despite that, we have the ability to, after convincing ourselves of like putting all the work and planning and everything in the real time, in the time of like, um, yeah, when it's the real deal, um, we are capable of putting things off, like deciding, okay, I'm not gonna wake up at this time. I'm not gonna go to the gym today, because it doesn't really matter. You can go back to the thing that nothing really matters that much. I mean, if you don't go to the gym one day, it's not gonna make a big difference. And that's true, but what if you don't go to the gym a couple days in a row? What if you don't continue to work that path a couple of days in a row? Then you might not derail, but slow down to the point that you lose that not that boost, but that like momentum. Yeah, you lose that momentum, and maybe by losing that momentum, you can lose it all. Maybe losing that momentum makes you lose the passion in it, makes you too comfortable in convincing yourself that things are not that worth it, only to then panic a lot whenever you remember that your goals were in fact important and that you started for a reason. Um, it could very well be like that, and I think it's interesting because how could it be that we might understand that goals are very important and still put away the alarm, put off the alarm, or like stop doing this or stop doing that, stop going to the gym that morning? Why do we do that? Why do we chase being comfortable and not becoming someone new? You know, why why did I chase in the past satisfying people if it was eating me up? Why did I make the choice to be like, okay, this is a way to go, I guess? Why is that? Because it really blows my mind. I don't know why that is. Because then you choose goals and you go through your head deeply and you say like, yeah, okay, this is the real goal. This is what I want to get because it's really important. How do you keep that? Because bear in mind, canceling a morning gym or like postponing the alarm and stuff like that, like hitting snooze, um, we all do that. I mean, don't be wrong. We all do that. Everyone. The most achieving people in the world, he might be a fucking monster and have like really good control over his or her actions. But still, that urge is not going to disappear. They just get really good at fighting it. They get really good at working with it. But the urge itself, it doesn't really disappear. Um, so how do you do it? How do you work this out? So that urge never disappears, yet we need to be able to fight it in order to, I guess, do something, amount to anything, build anything. We need to. And in order to answer this, I think it's it's very crucial to understand or to analyze, okay, in the moments where I am capable, or where I wake up in the morning and go to the gym, where I put the work, where I keep doing this, what's in the creation to help me keep going? What is it? Because I've had many examples of this, many iterations. And I must admit, sometimes it is the fact that I'm having loads of fun. Whenever I'm really focused and having fun, it's really hard to think about anything else, to even reason anything. But other times, you're able to do things that are not really fun. They aren't easy to do, and yet you do them. And others you don't. Then what happens in those moments? In those moments where you are able, what's happening exactly? What could be going on? When I think it's too hard to understand or even like go through it right now, I would have to like think about this in other occasions. But I think the trick is believing in something way bigger. Now, have to be, this doesn't have to be, this doesn't have to be, my English is so bad. This doesn't have to be a god or something like that. I mean, it's simply believing in something bigger. Why does religion, why has religion allowed people to do great feats such as building cathedrals, but then again, some fucked up stuff like killing a lot of people, you know? Because it really pushes people to the extreme of their potential. It's like, let's say humans are um, computers, it really overclocks them. You know, it might be designed or might be apparently designed to work in a certain way or under a certain frequency. But then you realize, oh shit, well, you can overclock this stuff. You can make it go faster, and it's the same components, the same possibilities. Um, so it essentially brings out the not maybe not the best, but definitely brings out human capabilities, and that's a fact. So, me, for example, being someone that doesn't believe in religion, because I was exposed to one of them. You know, in my country, it's mainly just Christianity, and it was the only one that It's not like I had a richer culture, so I could choose from anything different. That was like the thing. It like this is what it is, and since my parents allowed me to choose, they said, okay, when you're old enough, you should be able to choose whatever you want to believe in. We don't want to make you believe in this or that. The thing is, since they didn't do that, obviously I grew up not conditioned with the idea that it is kind of it's part of my personality. It's part of what makes me. And so I had no need for it. I was as me as I could be without it. So then I had to search for something else in it, answers, or especially answers. But it was the idea that, okay, this doesn't work out for me because I'm not really convinced entirely by what they're telling me. I don't like it. I mean, I was like, okay, this is not good enough. And if this is how things are, I'm not buying it because I don't want to think that it is that way. So yeah, long story short, I don't believe in God. However, I did this simple trick in order to get me going in the hardest moments, in order to um, wake up early in the morning and go to the gym at 7 a.m. or put more hours in or do something that really sucks. And the key is I needed something that got me into the mood of like getting myself to do it. Um, that is literally it. It's not like something to keep me going. It doesn't really work that way. It's just the first 5 minutes, perhaps the first 10 minutes. I don't know, half an hour. I don't know how the science of this works. Um, but the really really hard part was starting. Changing the atmosphere and my perception of things, changing the mood. Because when you wake up, you're feeling really sleepy and you're super comfortable in bed, so you don't want to get up and do work and get shit done. However, as soon as you get past that, if you're like 30 minutes into being awake, you don't really remember that feeling you felt in bed. You're just like distracted with other things. Maybe you want to be productive. Maybe you're hungry. Maybe you want to get this done. But you certainly act differently. Um, and so it was changing that mood. That was the key. Changing the mood was, in my opinion, the most important part. So how do I do this without believing in religion, but believing in a greater thing, in a greater power, or something divine? It has to be something so fucking great that it's unquestionable, you know? And in my case, I mentioned this in perhaps in the first episode when I covered the topic of growth by fear. I was so scared of being average, of mediocrity. I wanted to be special. Why? Because I simply didn't respect people that I thought not to be special. Kids are so great. Um, they're so pure. I mean, they are the best picture of our society, of human beings. It's human beings without being affected by society and how we've designed it to work, how competition works, how everything. Like for them, it's just a game, and it's interesting, you know. But yeah, sorry, I got distracted by watching those kids cross the road. Um, what was I saying? Yeah. So I was scared of mediocrity. I didn't want to be average. So what did I do? Well, where's here's what I did. I decided that I was gonna um, fix in my brain the idea of what I wanted to do. You know, oh well, I like what is the life that I want? How do I want to be existing? And so I obviously start thinking about the most idyllic thing. Like, okay, I would like to have money. I would like to have friends. I would like to be good with people. I would like this, that. You know, it changes upon many people. You know, depending on who you are and probably your upbringing, your goals will differ a lot. Um, but in my case, it was like in my case, it was like okay, so these are my goals. What kind of person would be able to face these goals? You know, maybe one of the goal is to have an impact on the world. How the fuck are you gonna have an impact on the world if you're literally an ant? You're a fucking mosquito, you know? Everyone is, but if you have no power, you're more of a mosquito even. Um, but so basically, that was one of my goals. In fact, I want to change the world. I want to really have an impact, because I think it sucks. It sucks how society works. It sucks the path it's taking. It sucks. It sucks that we worship more fame than creativity, or hard work, or intelligence. Um, for me, it sucks really because it's like, you know, I don't see someone's special experience in life, call it fame, changing the way society works, putting us all in a better path. However, creative people, hardworking people, intelligent people, you know, people that are simply fucking smart from birth, you know, some people are smarter than others. We are all smart. We're all smart in very different ways, and so I think that yeah, that's something you might be able um, to appreciate. But yeah, simply, I wanted to have my impact in the world and change it. And so I thought, hey, what kind of person would be able to have such an impact? And I decided, well, it would certainly have to be someone extraordinary. Like, if I imagine this character in my brain, it would have to be a fucking superhero. And why is that? Because I would have to be a person that behaves in such a way that has such control over his possibilities and how he uses them. For example, um, maybe I know I get mad, but if I control my rage, I get closer to my objectives. I become more tolerant. I become more open minded. I start to have the ability to listen. You know, and and so I decided to design this character, so to speak. Like, okay, I'm gonna be this person. I have to be like this. And then I started working on that. And whenever I wasn't able to do something, to to face a task that is boring or hard, or to yeah, to get up in the morning and go to the gym first thing, or even get out of bed first thing without even thinking. Whenever I started struggling, I would remind myself, man, remember, I mean, this is the goal you're really chasing. So this thing you're feeling, these excuses you're putting out, they don't really do anything. You're just wasting your time, and it's very limited. You guys listening, you know that I'm very, very concerned about time. But yeah, it's limited, so it's not really a smart use of time. So get your shit together and get back into the game, because remember who you are. You're that extraordinary and special person, not some average Joe. And trying your best to grow in that way, is what's gonna make you special in the end. Or at least it's gonna better yourself. But yeah, that's something I used as a way of being able to face tasks and keep chasing goals and this and that. You know, it's it's perhaps a trick, I guess. Um, but yet it doesn't work entirely. And what kills it, what has the ability of killing this, is motivation. Because if I put being motivated together with that, I'm the Hulk basically. I have the power to do great things. But if I don't have the motivation to do it, if I don't have the motivation to chase greatness, let's put this into an example. What if I suddenly decide that um greatness is not so important, because nothing really fucking matters anyway. You know, when you give up, when you're not motivated, when you give up, and it's like, but if nothing really matters, why would I do this? If this is like that, why do I do this? Um, so motivation is key. So that means that what I've just said, that's a great tool to get yourself to like face the bigger challenges while you chase your dreams that you're motivated to change to chase. But how do you stay motivated? How do you stay in the game? Apparently this is back to where I started this. How do I make things worth it? How do I make them stay worth it? I don't know. How do I? Why are things not worth it anymore? I think, and this is going to be really critical, um, probably we don't all function this way, but I think it's certainly how I function. I think whenever I have to make a serious effort, an effort that you're not, where you don't know, like you have to make an effort for something, but you don't really know if it's going to be something you're going to be able to face. Whenever there's a task that is so hard, so enormous, so big, I do get this thing of like, am I going to be able to make it? Because it's perhaps not that it's not worth it if I don't make it, but failing at something is really frustrating, you know? Because in the moment of failure, you don't really understand, like, okay, this was this was something I needed. I mean, I needed to um, live this experience and fail it so that I could better practice and be stronger next time, whatever. Be smarter, whatever it may be. It's like, it just feels like bad. Like, it's more of a fear of like, yeah, I think it's more like this now that I think about it. It's more like a huge fear over not being able to face something, or a huge fear over the huge effort that it's going to require. So you convince yourself that, hey, it's such a fucking huge effort that you might as well not chase this. Don't chase it because you're not going to make it. You're not going to be able um, to be successful at this. So don't even chase it. And this is not society telling you. It's you. It's you convincing yourself that um, you're not going to put the work in because it's such an effort that you're not going to do it. That is interesting. So let's do something. I'm going to do a test. Um, yeah, I'm going to do a test. I'm going to see, and the great thing about doing this publicly is that even though only 4 people watch this, there are 4 people can hold me accountable. Um, let's start with like meditation. Let's do small bits and then get it more complicated. Let's see if I can do an experiment of spending one whole day uncomfortably. One whole day just making an effort and putting in the time. Trying to do whatever task I feel like it's something I cannot face. Let's do this example. Um, let's try that and see how it goes. Yeah, let's do one day. I think one day is very simple. It's just one day of sacrifice. It's one day of sacrifice, and then I don't have to do a sacrifice ever again. Let's. I'm gonna tell myself it's. I'm gonna tell that to myself because I think it's gonna make it easier to chase the goal. But yeah, one whole day of like doing an effort, and then go back and review it. Think about how it has affected me. Um, yeah, yeah. Just think about how has this affected me, and after that, trying a week, a whole week. After that, a whole month. And I suspect that if I can do it for a whole month, the impact, the changes I can see are going to be so notorious that I'm going to have a great excuse to try it for more than a month. Yeah, 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 yeah. I think it's key to do it over that prolonged time. I think I need to build up from the beginnings. How do I keep myself from being weak one whole day? Well, I would have to break that into smaller, more digestible goals, maybe like each hour of the day. How do I face each hour? Um, I could identify what's what the hardest thing of each hour could be if I have a schedule that is like fixed, um, and try to find solutions to that problem. Like, for example, in the morning, it would be the first thing would be getting out of bed instead of staying in bed. Um, so yeah, reasons to fight that. And if I give myself a tool set for each hour of the day, I think the day might be easier than easier than I thought. And maybe if on top of that, I mean, if I get good at each day, I think maybe I can get good at mastering 1 week. Um, and if this works out, it's going to be really, really interesting because I would be proving to myself that I, in fact, have the ability to be great, to be better, not just to be lucky, not just to be hardworking. No, I mean, to be great, to be fucking great, because that's something really exciting for me because I wasn't born great, not by far. I was born with a lot of defects um, in my personality. Yeah, especially just in my personality, perhaps. But yeah, I was born with a lot of room for improvement, let's say, and I'm very aware of that room for improvement. And so I wanna, yeah, I'm gonna try this. This was actually a really great session. I don't know if you guys feel identified with what I was covering today. Um, if you guys ever lose motivation over your goals, if they stop mattering, and if you do, if you have faced this, how do you fix it? How do you better work on it? I'd love to know in the comments. As always, guys, hope you've enjoyed the session. I hoped it was helpful, and please, if you enjoyed this or any of the other episodes, just send it to someone you care about and you think that might be able to enjoy this, because you never know. It might wake up thoughts in their mind that were not previously um, woke or not previously taken into account. But yeah, who knows? Just send it to someone, share it. That could make their day great. It would certainly make my day better because that would mean that um, what I'm doing is reaching more people. And it's not about the way I see it is. It's not like there's the audience is 10 and I want to reach those 10. Like, it's not like I don't want everyone to like me. Like, I don't want to have everyone like me. What I do want to achieve is make sure that people that could enjoy this get to know this, you know? Um, and that would be fantastic. This is not for everyone, really. This isn't for everyone. And it's probably not for everyone at every time, in any moment. Like, maybe someone could appreciate these ideas, these formats, these thoughts at some point in their life and not in some other. I think that's perfectly possible. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and yeah, just gonna let you know that I'm really enjoying these sessions, and I cannot wait to get better at this, keep exploring new ideas, new topics, and yeah, just feeding my brain with ideas and putting it to work. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye.